US President Donald Trump has threatened to impose sanctions on India over its purchases of Iranian oil and Russian weapons, and it's put a dent in bilateral relations. On Thursday, the US Secretary of State Mike Pompeo and Defense Secretary James Mattis held high-level talks with their Indian counterparts to try to restore strategic ties. At the top of their agenda was boosting military cooperation. India is the world's largest defense buyer, with Russia supplying more than 60% of its military equipment. Now India and the US have signed a defense agreement that would open the way for sales of sensitive American military equipment. The US says India is now looking to buy more F-16 and F-18 fighter jets to replace its existing Russian models. The US wants to stop India's plan to purchase $6 billion worth of Russian S-400 anti-aircraft missile systems. The US is also increasing pressure on India to halt oil imports from Iran, but India says it sees Iran as an important strategic partner. It recently promised to invest more than $500 million in Iran's port in Jabal. Rebecca Bundhun has more from Mumbai.
These long-awaited high-level talks between India and the US came against a backdrop of trade tensions between the two countries, including Washington wanting India to stop buying oil from Iran. But following their first 2+2 dialogue, which took place in New Delhi, with India's Foreign Minister Sushma Swaraj and Defense Minister Nirmala Sitharaman meeting US Secretary of State Mike Pompeo and Defense Minister Jim Mattis, what they chose to publicly announce focused more on military and strategic relations. The main announcement was signing of a military communications pact between the two nations, strengthening their defence ties. But the dialogue doesn't seem to have led to clarity on issues including India's dependence on arms purchases from Russia, including a $6 billion S-400 defence system deal, as the US tries to encourage India to move away from buying weapons from Russia. Also, India is importing more oil from Iran, but with the US imposing sanctions on Iran, it wants this to stop. And a conclusion on this matter doesn't seem to have emerged from the dialogue.